All right, so let's look at this real quick. So same thing, except what do you notice that's different on this equation? It's y squared. So immediately I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go, okay, well, this has an x squared, so it's not vertical. And then to double check my horizontal, I have the y squared. Okay, same thing though. I'm going to write this out, y squared plus 2x plus 8y plus 18 equals 0. So we're going to isolate the y. This doesn't have a y, so I'm going to move the 2x. The 18 doesn't have a y, so I'm going to move the 18. Whatever I do on one side, oh, that's where I kind of screwed up. I got to move this. I got to move this over. So I'm a little bit in my way here. Let's get all this stuff out of the way. Remember, whatever I do on one side of the equal sign, I have to do to the other. So I'm going to subtract 2x here and subtract 18 here. When I do that, I'm going to get y squared plus 8y, and I'm going to put a little space here because I know that I'm going to have to complete the square, is equal to negative 2x minus 18, okay? And then I'm going to have to complete the square. So to complete the square, can somebody tell me how you complete the square? What do we look at? Huh? Yeah, so to complete the square, we're going to add the b term over 2 squared. The b term and this equation, right, is going to be 8. So that becomes 8 over 2 squared, which is really 8 divided by 2, which is 4 squared. What's 4 squared? Plus 16. Now, I purposefully, and you guys, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, I purposefully write it over here as 4 squared. But 4 squared equals 16, correct? Now, the reason I purposefully write it that way is because I know that y plus 4 squared equals all this stuff. In other words, if I multiply y plus 4 times y plus 4, it equals y squared plus 8y plus 16, right? Well, then over here, I'm going to have negative 2x minus negative 18 plus 16 is just negative 2. Okay? Now, in order, so we're almost done. We said that this is a horizontal. Same thing over here. I need to isolate the x. So to isolate the x, I just need to factor out what this is. These problems should be rigged up. In other words, I'm going to say negative 2 times something. Well, what do I multiply negative 2 by to get negative 2x? Just x. What do I multiply negative 2 by to get negative 2? What do I multiply negative 2 by to get negative 2? That's kind of a trick question, but it's not. Positive 1, right? Negative 2 times positive 1 equals negative 2, doesn't it? Negative 2 times a positive 1. That equals negative 2, right? And over here, negative 2 times x equals negative 2x, right? So I'm using the distributive property backwards. Over here, I've got y plus 4 squared. We're almost done. I don't know what p is, but I know that this is equal to what? It's equal to 4p. So I'm going to say 4p is equal to negative 2. Solve for p, divide by 4 on both sides, and I get p is equal to negative 2 over 4. What does that reduce down to? Negative 1/2, right? And in your mind, you got to think, I'm going to divide the top by 2, and then I'm going to divide the bottom by 2. So negative 2 divided by 2 equals negative 1. 4 divided by negative 2 equals 2. So it reduces down to 1/2. So I know what P is. Based on my formula, what's my H and K? Well, it looks like K, remember, it's the opposite of this. So K, remember, K is with the Y. K is equal to negative 4 because the formula would have to be, you have to write it like this. Y equals, or I'm sorry, Y minus 4 squared, right? Because that's the only way you can get this plus. And that's equal to 4 times P, but P we now know is negative 1/2. And then that is multiplied by X minus 1. So by rewriting it this way, I know that K is negative 4, and I also know that H is equal to negative 1. That all comes from this little formula here. I'm just looking at this stuff here. P is negative, so when P is negative, it opens to the left, right? Correct? I'm sorry, I shouldn't say it that way. P less than 0 means that P is negative, right? How do I find the focus? Well, the focus, well, first of all, the vertex is just H comma K, correct? So it's H comma K. Now, here's the thing. If you guys are writing down all these formulas that I'm writing down, when I write them down, you'll eventually memorize them. Okay? Then the focus has a different formula. The focus is just going to be H plus P comma K. So now what is that? Well, H is negative 1 plus P, which is negative 1/2, comma K, which is negative 4. So negative 1 plus negative 1/2, this should be a negative 1/2. That's negative 3/2, comma negative 4. Okay? So that's my focus. So I have the equation, I have the focus. Oh, we got to do the directrix. According to this table, the directrix is going to be X. Let me write this out. Directrix is equal to X is equal to H minus P. So X equals H. What was H? Negative 1 minus P, which is minus 1/2. That's the same as adding 1/2. What's negative 1/2 plus 1? I'm sorry, negative 1 plus 1/2. Yeah, it's negative 1/2. All right, so now I have everything I need. Let's graph this bad boy. So our directrix was, oops, what was the focus? What did you guys write down? Negative 3 divided by 2. And then negative 4. Okay, so that's the focus. What did we say the vertex was? What was it? Negative 1 comma negative 4. That was the vertex. Okay. So far, so good. And then what was our equation? I got to change this. So it was y plus 4. Wait. No, it was y. Yeah, y plus 4. I don't know why I did capital Y. Plus 4. And then originally it was what? Negative 2 here. Didn't we have that? Like a negative 2. And then we had x. Wasn't it plus 1? And then, oh, we got to do the directrix, which was x equals -1/2, correct? And I'm going to zoom in a little bit on this. Does that look right? Does that look equidistant? Looks pretty equidistant to me. In other words, the distance from the focus to the vertex is the same as the vertex to the directrix. All right. Let's take a snapshot of that. So the graphing, that's why it's so important that you guys use the graphing calculators, because the graph basically tells you if all of your algebra is correct. If you did a good job with the algebra and the algebra is correct, then the graph will match up. Okay? Let me zoom out so you guys can see the whole thing. Actually, let's do 50. I'm going to make this a little bigger so you guys can see it. Okay?